Excellent. Okay, so today, what I'm gonna cover is I'm gonna do a little smear animation. So in live action footage, whenever something moves really fast on the screen, there's usually a blur. So when we're doing animation, we gotta fake the blur, and I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. Awesome. Okay. I have the comments open on the side here, so every time I'm like looking down, that's what I'm reading. Okay, so I've set up so you guys can hear the audio from the computer and my mic.
Anybody?
So Abo is looking inside the tent, and then all of a sudden, a creature jumps out at him. First thing I'm gonna do is when he's looking inside, right before he jumps back, I'm gonna have him do a little antic right before jumping back, just so the action reads. Because usually, like for example, if you stand up right now and you try to jump, you can't jump without pushing yourself down and then jumping up. So you always have to kind of do a little opposite action for the main action. Okay. So right here, right before he jumps back, I'm gonna create a keyframe, and then I'm gonna squash him down. Can you let him out? My dog needs to use the bathroom. Okay, so I'm gonna push him down. Squash his head. And then I'm also gonna give his face a reaction. So this is frame 135. So on frame 135 in here, gonna give him some closed eyes. And get rid of his pupils. And then same with his eyebrows. I'm gonna push them down. I want these eyebrows, which is frame number 2. Type frame number 2 here. Move them around. And then his mouth, also on frame 35, I'm gonna want his mouth to look like that. So 24. Oh, I did that on 136. I gotta move it to 135. And then outside, okay, there. See, on frame 135, he goes into this face. Okay. So now out here, I gotta set this to 135 again, because I'm on 135, but it's showing me frame 95 now, or 93. So I'm gonna set that to 135. Give his head a bit of a squash. So now you see he's looking in, and then he jumps back. And when I hit play, you can read that little squash right before he jumps back. And then in between these two drawings, I'm gonna create a blank keyframe by hitting F7, selecting all the keyframes, hitting F7, and then I'm gonna go in and create my fake blur, or my cheetah blur. And what I do is I'm gonna select my color, like a dark red. I've turned on the onion skin so I can see both drawings, and then I'm just gonna make a smear in between these two. So I'm gonna take this drawing and just do like a stretched out. If I turn off this onion skin, you can see what I'm doing. It's like a stretched out version of a drawing that's gonna go in between. So then I turn on the onion skin. I do the same with the face. The feet. And the nose. I'm just basically taking these two drawings and just stretching a drawing in between them. And the mouth. I don't know, I like to turn off the onion skin so I can see the drawings and just kind of mess with it a little bit. So if this was a live action video, like a movie or just a regular camera, this action, somebody moving that fast from here to here, that would be a blur. And we're basically just doing that by drawing it. His eyes. And his eyebrows. Even the ear, I'll do a little stretch on the ear. So there's no lag this time, right? I played around with the settings a little bit and it seems like it's better. And the hand. Okay, so then you get this kind of action. I'll hit play.
Anybody?
So now if I go and clean this up, take this down, take down the opacity so it doesn't interfere with me with my I can see better on the new layer. Turn on a dark color and then start cleaning it up. And then I turn on my object mode. And then we flip through by hitting F and G. But that's a custom setup for me, so I need to set that up. Okay. Yeah, Haraj, I work at Warner Brothers. I've been there for about 6 years now. I started on season 1 of Teen Titans Go, and now we're on season 5. I hit Shift and Spacebar to rotate my stage so I can draw stuff from different angles. You guys like Mount Ararat in the background? And then you can also use this smear thing on different stuff, like let's say the person's talking and they move their hand really fast, or like they hit a pose with their hand. You can do the smear on the hand but not the rest of the body. You can just, depends on what you're doing. Okay, so get the mouth here. Nose. And then because this eye color doesn't have an outline, I'm gonna just do that with the line tool and then get rid of the line. Do the eyebrows here. Okay, we select the line tool, which is this pencil tool here. And I draw the circles, or the circle shapes here. Oops. Okay. And I'll do the nostril here. Okay. And the feet. Okay, so then I'll get rid of the rough underneath and then color this in. Select the green. Oh yeah, I gotta break this stuff. But before I do that, I'm gonna go and clean it up a little bit. Saving. Merci Arm. Anlat arama. Te Armen. Te Arman. Oh, Hacho. Yeah, this is Adobe Flash. Now it's called Adobe Animate. Anuna pochele nima Adobe Animator. Yeah, that new parrot cartoon I uploaded. I had it up before, but there were some mistakes, so I re-uploaded it. I also increased the resolution. It's a much bigger, bigger resolution. But yeah, that was pretty much how my dad would introduce his bird to everybody. He would stand there with a spray and spray the bird until the bird would get pissed off and just cussing him out. But the bird would actually cuss him out in Armenian and Russian, and then he would get a kick out of it and laugh and get excited. So since parrots are called tutak in Armenian, which is very similar to Tupac, I ended up going with Tupac diss track. Okay, I think that's good enough. And I'm gonna break this, Control B, and then color. Okay, so it's not coloring in this arm. That means there's a little gap open. So you can just go here, select this tool, and you select close small gaps. So then when you do that, it's still not good enough. Close medium gaps. I think I might have not broken all of them. Nope. Let's do close large gaps. Okay, that didn't work either. So now what I do is I turn on line mode. Oh, there you go. That's why. Because this hand is on a different layer. So I'm going to select this, cut it, and then Control Shift V is on the same layer. And then I turn this on. And now select the skin color and fill this in. Because I had set it to close large gaps, it's creating gaps in here. So I'm gonna choose don't close gaps and then fill it in. Get rid of this line here. Հա, խոչո, էսի մյուս մուլտս որ լինի, էսի ալնելու։ Հիմա դրա վրա եմ աշխատում։ Okay, yeah, Hacho was asking if there's gonna be more cartoons, and I was saying that this is the next one that I'm working on. Okay, and then I'm just gonna create the teeth. Just gonna keep it. Oops. These are in object mode, so I gotta break them. Control B, and then fill these in. Oops. There you go. There's my blurred drawing, or my smear. I'm gonna get rid of these lines, and I'm gonna hit enter.
Anybody?
See that?
Anybody?
It reads as a blur.
Anybody?
So I'm gonna go out here, hit play. You guys can see how it looks.
Hello? Hello? Anybody?
And then outside here, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna do it on this creature here. I'm gonna do a layer over his face because the creature has to also be there.
Anybody?
And then you can kind of push this a little bit just to read it even better. There you go.
Anybody? My face! My face!
Alright. Was that helpful? One more quick thing before I turn this off, because my phone's about to die. It took me forever to set things up. But luckily now I have it set up and I can be ready next time. So I animated these two hands I have set them up as symbols. Okay, and then inside I've animated this cycle of that little wave, and then I duplicated it and put it on both sides. So now when you play it, you have these two hands doing the same action. That also is going to help me save time by going in here. When I go in here and I clean this up, you can see that as I clean this up, this will also be cleaned up. Bye, Nishan. Thanks for joining us. Okay, I'll create a black line and then clean this up real quick so I can show you guys. Okay, so let's say I clean this up real quick. Now if I go, let me set that to 1 frame. Now if I go out here, you can see that this drawing also got cleaned up because it's the same object and it's the same symbol. So as I go and clean all these drawings up in here, I'm going to be doing double cleanup on both arms at the same time. Okay, just in case my phone dies. I'm good, Nishan. How are you? In case my phone dies, in the comments, leave me some questions. Ask me about whatever you want me to cover next time, and then I'll try to think of a little tutorial and show you guys how to do certain things. Okay. There, now I'll turn off the rough layer. Set that as a guide. When I exit the symbol, see both arms are now cleaned up.
Anybody? My face! Anybody? My face! My face!
Okay. So I think that's about it for today. Hope that was helpful. Again, like I said, leave any questions, comments under the video. It's hard for me to think of what to cover. So if you guys can ask questions, I'll actually know certain things you want answered, and I'll do certain little exercises and stuff like that as I'm working. And that'll be helpful. All right. Thank you for joining me.